Hello, dinner guests. Welcome to Dinner and a Show. I'm Brian.
Right after watching this movie that we're about to review, I immediately had to watch something funny just because I had to laugh. Because, like, oh man, this is one of those rare movies nowadays that really gets me right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
The movie that we're talking about is called
A Monster Calls.
I remember watching this, I think, earlier this year in January. It was a movie date. And and the funny, this girl that I was taking out on a date with, she said that she did not like sad movies or to cry in movies. And I was just like, hey, I have no idea what this movie's about, but it looked cool. So, you know, it's Liam Neeson, you know, so it's like, what's the worst?
It's not an easy...
She was bawling at the end.
I imagine... you know, I mean...
Sadly, this movie did not do well at the box office. It actually, I think, got 11th or 12th.
It wasn't marketed
on
very
opening
well
weekend.
either.
Yeah, it wasn't marketed well.
Not many people went to... hardly anyone went to see it.
Yeah, when I went, I think there were like maybe 4 other people in the theater that watched it with us.
And even worse, this is from the same director of The Impossible. That didn't get nearly enough attention, like from the Academy, and neither did this one.
Yeah. It came towards the end of the year, but I think by the time it came out, it was either Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them or Rogue One or Why Him. So it's based off a book that not a lot of people were familiar with. At least maybe American audiences. It might be a famous British children's novel, but basically what I came across, or what I when I left the theater, I thought of this film as a powerful coming of age movie in a different tone for younger audiences.
It's mainly about the monsters within us. We don't know why they're there, and this movie sort of asks the question. It doesn't answer the question of why they're there and how they might be used as a form of maybe strength or fortitude or something like that. This kid, played by Lewis McDougall, is that his name?
I think so, yeah. McDougall or McDougal. His character is Connor O'Malley.
And he's at that awkward age where, according to the narrator, he's too old to be a kid, too young to be a man. But as if it wasn't enough, he's got a dying mother, played by Felicity Jones. She's very sick. He's being picked on at school. He just doesn't feel comfortable in his own skin.
His dad's in LA.
Yeah.
His grandma acts like an ancient hag, according to him.
Yeah.
Where she's like, don't touch anything.
And so this monster comes along and tells him these stories in exchange for hearing his story. And this monster is basically this giant tree creature voiced by Liam Neeson, and it's basically a manifestation of his
imagination,
of his impulses, really. The impulses that make him do violent things like trash the house or punish the bullies, stuff like that. We should probably explain what we're eating for dinner.
Yeah, because we have totally not talked about that. I'm drinking a V8, eating a banana, and eating a breakfast burrito by Don Miguel. Not sponsors for any of this, but it's great. If you'd like to be a sponsor.
I made my own spaghetti and tomato sauce. It's my favorite dinner to eat. I just never had it here. I mean, I hinted at it once in the Passion of the Christ review, but that was cold spaghetti, and I wasn't
You weren't hungry then.
Yeah, I make my own sauce. It's 1 full can of Hunt's tomato sauce, a little bit of water, half a packet of tangy oregano herbal spice mix, and a little bit of margarine. It's delicious.
A Monster Calls was just a really powerful film. I think. And I can't imagine, since I don't, have kids that are dealing with, a loss like this. I mean, this dude is in middle school and his mom's dying.
But you were a kid that dealt with something like this. We all dealt with some things like this.
Yeah, just to some extent. I mean, he's got it the worst. This was my second time watching it. Watching it the second time, I did see a few problems that were more noticeable this time. The first time was more, I was more engrossed in the story and everything. Probably the most glaring problem for me, and I say glaring in a mild manner, was the bullies.
So it's not that glaring?
It just kind of irked me. Just the bullies. The bullies were one-dimensional.
Yeah.
They didn't
Tired of
really.
one-dimensional bullies.
Yeah, they didn't really add much. They contribute to the third tale that the monster tells Connor, but other than that, they have no contribution to the story other than to make Connor's life miserable.
Yeah.
And then you can make fun of Sigourney Weaver's wannabe British accent.
Which is kind of funny because one of her parents is British, but like sometimes she does the accent well, other times it's sort of straying.
Yeah, it's just an in and out thing. A lot of she's not the only one to do this. A lot of actors have done this. Anne Hathaway famously did it in I forget one of her movies where she was supposed to be playing a British person. She was supposed to have an accent, and it flopped. I need to look at the movie. My phone is the camera, so I can't look it up. And of course, Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins! So, you have those examples. So Sigourney Weaver is nowhere near there, but it is kind of rough just hearing the accent just kind of go in and out. The opening sequence is beautiful. The opening credits. It has a very artistic theme, and artistic not meaning just like independent feels, but also like the kid's an artist. His mom is an artist or wanted to be an artist.
There's some neat animated sequences that help shape the monsters' stories. It's really well done, especially since this might be like coming from the kid's imagination. So it's sort of like how he would see it. In fact, it's really clever because like the monster covers his eyes and says, "What do you see?" He says, "Nothing." You're like, "You're covering my eyes." And he's like, "Look harder." It's forcing the kid to use his imagination as he's being told the story.
Yeah, the story sequences reminded me a lot of the like Tale of the Three Brothers in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. And they had slightly different styles. I would say the second one had a little more texture than the first one, but it wasn't a huge deal, huge bit of difference. But it was still just great to see. Love the transitions, the monster just weaving in and out of the story visually. I think that the third act kind of picked up a lot. Because that's where the story, gets to its climax, and Connor has to face his truth, which I won't spoil it, but it's not what you would expect, but it gets you right in the feels.
Yeah.
I'm sure you kind of guess what's going to happen at the end. We won't spoil it for you, but it is a powerful moment. I really liked this movie. I think it still holds up, despite me being a little more of a nitpicker than usual. Yeah. I'll give it I'm still keeping my rating of a high 5.
I'm going to give it a secret handshake.
Well, there you go.
The overall impact it had on me, it's just... I'm eating tomato sauce with a fork. Somehow I think this movie has something to do with it. I don't know.
Well, there you have it. The tomato sauce says something. Alright, well, that's all we got for today. Watch this movie, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Or do that.
This movie needs attention.
And I hope that, over time, it will receive a following.
Yeah.
And just have a revival down the road. But until then, all we have is just these reviews to promote it and you guys to go check it out.
We're counting on you.
Alright. So with that, I'm Brian.
I'm Tanner.
And we will see you at the movies.